I'm Shauna Crockett, and I'm from the Lindon 4th Ward. I want to just start with not everybody's faith in the temple is perfect, and that we don't all start with a firm testimony in the temple. And I wouldn't say mine is the firmest it could be, and that's okay. I'm okay with that there's always room for growth and understanding. But one thing I do know through all the promises that Heavenly Father has kept is that He fulfills His promises, and that sometimes I need to exercise my faith before I have a full understanding of things. And the temple is one of those. Sometimes when I go through the temple, I leave with lots of questions and things that I don't know or don't understand completely. But I remind myself all the time that I don't have to understand everything completely all at once. And that's something I used to tell myself as a teacher. When I was a first-year teacher, I would remind myself as I saw myself just making flaws and flops all the time and making mistakes that I didn't have to be a 10-year teacher today, that I just had to be a 1-year teacher today. And that's how I feel as I go through the temple, that I don't have to be perfect yet, that I can grow in my understanding as I seek out the temple. One of the things that actually made the biggest difference for how I felt in the temple was the temple questions for the temple recommend interview. The questions were for me very difficult because I felt a sense of I needed to be perfect before I could enter the house of the Lord, and that I felt guilty almost going unless I felt perfectly clean. And as you're partaking of some of the covenants that are in the temple that are very sacred, I didn't want to feel that way. I wanted to feel like I belonged there, but also wanted to feel at peace with who I was and the growth that I was making or in my understanding. I remember going in for a temple recommend interview, and my bishop started asking me the questions, and I paused and I said, "Will you say that question again?" Because the questions changed to, a lot of them, "Do you strive to?" instead of "Do you?" And I could, anytime I felt those questions being asked before "Do you?" My brain would go through all the times that I did not, right? I didn't do something perfectly. But when he asked me, "Do you strive?" right? Do you strive to do this? I could answer that 100% yes. I do strive to be worthy to enter the temple. I do strive to keep all of God's commandments. And that felt different the next time I entered the temple. It felt like I belonged there for the first time, even though I had gone years and years and years. Not feeling necessarily that I didn't belong, but that I was worthy to be there. That was a really great day for me in the house of the Lord. In His house, I can learn and grow. In His house, perfection is part of my journey and not what I'm expected to be right now. So in His house, I get to just be me and worthily enter the temple, right? Perfection and worthiness are different, but I worthily can enter His house